What?
Wait, where?
I went here, and then I also went to Connecticut Culinary Institute in Hartford. I graduated in 2008. 24, been working at the sushi bar that I've been working at since junior year, because I started at my senior project. Taught a class how to make sushi, and then I did my CCT.
Like the top.
Not fake, but like just like.
It's right there.
Gloves are my life.
Also practice some art, a sharp knife, a daikon, cucumbers, which is expensive in that sense. Nice skills there.
So you went here?
I went here.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
alone
now.
now.
Crazy.
This is starting.
What? Always prepared. Any meat or seafood? Any meat or seafood is paleo. Is there breading on it? Breading is not paleo. Yes.
My sister graduated. Graduated in 08. Pretty sure.
In culinary?
No, she was business. Business. This is actually.
No.
I mean, there's like a business class, but it's not like
No business shopping.
You guys have any questions about sushi or anything like that? Well, when I first came to the school, I wanted to be in graphic arts because I love drawing, but I didn't like working on the computer. So,
Chef, you need this right?
I came, thank you so much. You're welcome.
Problem.
Culinary arts
Need
and kind
the right side of the microwave?
Yes. Yep. Edible right next to it.
It's my favorite sauce.
Right.
all you have to do is like all
I remember when we sold sandwiches.
That's seaweed. I remember when you were eating
You ever had the soy paper?
Okay, I
Soy
have-
paper too.
A lot.
Soy paper.
Yeah, a whole bunch of different colors. Yellow, orange. I like the ones that's kind of like clear with seed, sesame seeds on it. Yeah, Mr. P. Don't look. Couple times, couple times. I gotta cut the scab to get it there. I'm Eric Fenner. How's it going, guys? I'm gonna make some sushi, some California rolls, some shrimp tempura rolls. If you don't know what California rolls are, they're connie, which is pollock. Make it taste like imitation crab stick.
the shrimp tempura is usually done with a tempura batter, and then the flakes on the outside are actually thinned out tempura batter, deep fried in these little tiny flakes. Gotta pick them out. Best when the oil is cool. Salty, delicious goodness. You're right.
Upstairs around.
It all starts with the rice. The rice takes about 15 minutes to rinse all the water clear of the starch, and then it takes 45 minutes to cook. And then it takes 10 minutes after you add the sushi vinegar. And then after that, it takes another 10 minutes to cool down because you don't want it too hot for the sushi chefs to handle. But it's not too fun. It's wicked hot and you gotta touch it with your hands. And then you fish in your product. Probably took me almost a good couple of months before I was able to start making the rice. And when I was making the rice, he had me take newspaper size sheets of nori like this. Hungary is half a nori. Japanese terms, had to have Japanese terms written down on all the papers. The fish. Tuna's maguro, bass is Suzuki, salmon is sake, and I like the sake you drink. All main fish, yellowtail, hamachi, that's what it's called. We use the actual, when we cut the fish, we take the jawbone, so we make hamachi kama, which is yellowfin jaw. Really good, really got some nice fat in there. Kind of melts in your mouth. It's like a barbecue thing. And the lemon. We also do these. Everyone loves them at work. We do. We like to use up all our product. So the tuna that we can't get off of the skin, we scrape off with a spoon, and then we use it for spicy tuna. The spicy tuna we can't use on the first day. We use it for monkey balls, which is spicy tuna stuffed mushrooms. Those are really good. Hey. I got that. What I loved about sushi when I first got to it was knowing that the art into it could be anything of your imagination. The rolls I made my own roll at work, had it on a special menu. I called it the Dragon's Tongue. And it was pretty cool because it came to me in a dream, dreaming of sushi one night. And we make our own pickled carrots because the pickled Japanese burdock that we get is a little expensive. So we make our own pickled carrots, and pretty cool because we use the sushi vinegar, so it's a little bit different kind of pickle. But our pickles and cucumbers, tempura shrimp. I cut one end of the shrimp off, so one end looks kind of like a dragon's tongue, and then on the top of the roll, I put tuna and yellowtail and laid them out straight, 2 pieces of each on each side. So when you cut it, you flip flop it, and it looks like a checkerboard pattern. And then I use this gochujang sauce, which is actually a Korean style barbecue sauce where it's smoky and sweet at first and then the heat kicks you in there. Which is pretty cool because it looked like I lopped off the dragon's tongue and put it on the plate. But if you add a little bit of oil, or even like the Japanese used to use a little bowl of water with sushi vinegar in it, they weren't using gloves. And now of course we use gloves because it's more sanitary. being out at the sushi bar and talking to all the guests that are coming in, that's pretty fun. You can see all their faces. Usually they ask me, you know, how long did it take you to learn this? Most of the time I tell them the truth. Sometimes I like to have fun. Sometimes I tell them like I studied in Nagasaki for 7 years with some monks and meditated on it. All of you eat sushi. I'm a vegetarian also. What about egg?
I'm a food fan.
We do a Japanese sweet omelet, which is made there by Lick, which is pretty cool. Special pan. Take a dozen eggs, and you have your each place has their own little sweet dashi that they make. The dashi is like a fish, sweet fish stuff. It's pretty cool because you're not supposed to brown any layers. You pour a little egg in, wait for it to cook, flip it 3 times, making a square, then you push it back in the pan, do it again, you repeat. So you got this big block. Maybe that thick, not that long. So good. Warm, that was the first reason, like, my dad actually brought me to Misaki Sushi Bar when I first wanted to actually get serious about my senior project and that. And that was one of the first things was he just brought out a steaming tamago and set it right out there on the sushi bar. It's just so good. I was hooked. I was like a Stop and Shop guy. I was like, let's just have some sushi right now. No, once you go to a sushi bar, you're ruined. The more times you try things, the more you like them. I didn't like mushrooms when I was here. I didn't like tomatoes when I was here. Now I love mushrooms. I love tomatoes of all kinds. The more you have it, the more you like it. Even when I was in college, I worked at an Asian restaurant. I worked at a place called Mitsu Asian Cuisine, which was more like a Chinese takeout restaurant, but they did sushi. It was called Sushi Grill. I learned how to do a lot of things. Answered the phone, dishes, still did everything like I do now. We're short-staffed at the restaurant right now, and we all just pull together. I wouldn't say I'm just a sushi chef. I'm also cooking in the kitchen, making the chicken teriyaki, beef teriyaki, yakisobas, all that stuff. We all just pull together and make the restaurant work. I wasn't this good though. Lots of cuts and scrapes later. Always have fun.
See if you can.
As acts like a safeguard when you're cutting it, so everything stays in place. Those veggies. These are maki, which is roll, and Hoso maki is the one with the rice on the inside. Usually when you hear maki or sushi roll, you go for these. These are Hoso maki here. Not inside out. Funny, the first time Yuki-san asked me to go get taco, I'm like, got tacos here? It's octopus. I cut an octopus. That's actually pretty fun. You cut out the head and then you go for the beak and then the head and then all the tentacles. Marinated baby octopus.
Yep. Just marinated.
And some ham. Maybe you know what you want to do when you get out of school. Like a culinary field or crickets.
I want to go to 4 cities for 2 years. Get my associate in culinary arts and hospitality management.
Nice.
And hospitality. I'll stay with baking first and foremost.
Nice. You like baking?
Not really, but it's something to have.
I like baking.
I'm going for a business. And then I want to open my own bakery.
Oh, awesome. I know my senior, one of them's Kelly. Her last name, she has 2 cake places.
I want to go to Johnson Wales and do beverage management. I also want to do baking pastry, but it's after first.
Baking was fun. Going to a culinary school is good, but no experience like in the field experience. Everything they teach you in school, some places you got to do it real quick. Get it done in time, then train you. Be all good with practice. Make sure you're doing something you have fun. You're gonna be doing it for a while.
What is that?
Sesame seeds.
Oh, that's probably
I think we all just read.
I can't read it from here. Wow, thanks. Oh,
I noticed that those crab sticks are all like individually wrapped. Is that different than the ones you see in the supermarket? They're sort of packaged. Are those like the perfect size for sushi, those ones?
Actually, I was talking to Hoso about this the other day. I was like, oh man, Hoso, I really don't like these ones that come in. They're a little bit, have a little bit of water in it. They're a little bit short for the nori. And he's like, are you kidding me? These are the high quality ones. They're expensive. The ones they taste one of these and like, have it. But I tried it compared to the other one that we had. It is better.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ones in the supermarket, they're like huge sometimes.
Yeah. Well, they're also not always sticks. Like they look sort of like lump crab or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. We actually do a roll with lobster now. We call it the lobster diablo. We mix it up with our scallops and lobster and put it in the broiler with dynamite sauce on it, which is our spicy mayo, which is basically like mayo, sriracha, a little bit of soy sauce, mirin, sake. Usually don't get rolls anymore when I get takeout or anything when I'm eating. I like to have just the fish on some rice. My favorite. I get this, we call it a lunch-sized Korean style shirashi, which is like kind of like a sui miso where it's a whole bunch of different types of cut up fish put on top of some rice, some lettuce, and then just discuss with sauce that I like. Sounds like you should get it regular. Taste the fish. I do taste the fish every day. Cut the fish. I taste the fish. I work with fish. I eat the fish. That's mindset. Before I did sushi, I worked at the breakfast room in West Dennis. you know where any of that is.
Oh my god, yes. I love it there.
I live right across from Resurrection Baker. Well, used to. And I live in the Mills. So I can play disco. Yay.
Just go super. Sticky rice. I know. Rice
I was taking bits out of an avocado at work and like falling off my knife.
Little hockey balls in it.
I was playing, it was at the end of the day, we were closed. I found an avocado with and I was playing soccer.
I do that sometimes at work, except it's more like hockey because I'm just thinking I'm sweeping everything up.
Yeah.
Essentially, I'm just cleaning the kitchen.
It's actually accomplishing something.
Make a big bowl of it. You cry every time. Y'all have clean hands. You want to wash your hands? Have a couple pieces.
Where are we going to take pictures?
The only human being.
One. If you can break it, then you can
Why
break
don't you
it.
do that with chopsticks? Mr. B, say.
I almost do. So it's a year and a half.
Here now. Mr. B, where are the chopsticks?
Oh, yeah. I have some on the table and I have some in the other. And then I'm going to give you some small plates. Some of you might want to take some pieces and put them on plates too. You got it? Yeah. This on the table.
Does anyone else need chopsticks?
Yeah, Travis face Ricky.
The avocado on the outside is delicious.
There you go.
You need to do what you on the inside.
What?
You on the inside.
The chopsticks are over here if you want any extras.
You're just warming up your chopsticks.
No, just in case there's any little shavings on them, rub like this and get them off. Say, otherwise you get them in regular pieces.
Oh, I do.
Is it question and answer time now?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So when you were taking that, is that a Santuco, the type of knife you have there?
Yes.
Okay, so when you're dipping it in the liquid, the water, is it just water? Warm water?
Oh, when I did
Vinegar water? What is it?
it's just regular water.
Regular water?
Yeah, cold water.
Okay, and then you stand the knife up. I was
To
watching,
get the drip all the way down the blade.
instead of wiping it off, so it's still some, so there's some water still on the blade
Yeah.
and it gets totally covered.
So yeah, it's to cover the knife so when you make a cut, it just cuts through it clean instead of
Yeah.
ripping the rice as it goes through the roll. And then it peels out all the stuff that you just worked so hard to put in there.
It's awesome. I would have to say that you're like you're like a model senior project student because you know what his senior project was? This, 2008, and look what the kid is still doing now. It's a little bit of a chilling moment for me, but nobody else will understand what I'm trying to say. Chilling moment. No tears, but of joy and excitement that he's doing that. Yeah, that's what it is. Thanks for helping me formulate the words.
So I can.
How would you describe this to somebody who's never like had it or seen it, Marzi?
Delicious.
Okay, that's true. But what else? How would you say? How would you describe him?
Talented.
Talented. Yep.
Educational.
Educational. He's given you some knowledge. He's told you a few things. Well, what's awesome about it? I like all these are all positive, great things. But what else? What's awesome about it? The technique is definitely a skill and technique. I would also say, look at this area. Look how neat and organized and clean, non-messy. How about the precision in all of his cuts? Look at every piece of something that he has cut. It's precise. It's not bigger, smaller, whatever. That's a lot of care. It's uniform. And it's not by a machine. In this case, it is the E machine over there. Eric used to call him E all the time. But he is the machine in that case. Yeah, 2008 graduated.
Yeah.
And you all know where he works, so if you ever want to go visit, right? There you go, Eric. They want to know where you work.
I work at Misaki Sushi Bar on West Main Street in Hyannis across from Country Garden.
There you go. And how many years you been there for now?
7.
7 years.
I'm going with you next time.
7 years. And the person that you apprenticed,
Was
can you call that? It's an apprentice, but not in Asian, Japanese terms. What do you think of an apprentice? You know what apprentice is? An apprentice?
You work while you learn.
You work while you learn.
So you don't get
Yes,
paid.
and you in this case, and sometimes it's non-paying, but this case is. So for some of you, you say after Cape Cod Tech, I want to go to work, or I don't want to go to work, I want to go to school. That's another opportunity, an apprentice. You go to somebody, let's say like Julia is really interested in baking. She could maybe get an apprentice with, I don't know, the Cake Boss. I'm not trying to say that person is the best ever, but so that's not necessarily going to college, and it's not necessarily going to work. You go find somebody to an apprentice with, okay? That doesn't mean everybody offers that. I think that you found a very rare opportunity with somebody, Eric.
yeah.
To
He
deal.
doesn't work there anymore.
He doesn't work there anymore?
No, he doesn't own it.
So you have somebody else now.
2 Americans own it. Yes, Hamada-san is the man. And, he's the one that's the head sushi chef at the restaurant now. When I came back from college, he was there.
Yeah.
And then we have Kira-san, which is they're all about Hama-san's 61, Kira-san's 59, and Yuki-san is 63.
And when you came in, when you were there already, and then they came, were they cool with it?
Before I left, Hama-san wasn't there. Kira-san worked there for a little bit, and then he went to New York to work at another place where he got a better offer.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not like this guy that came from California that showed them the monkey balls and all this stuff.
Yeah.
He didn't treat me with respect. He wasn't good at showing you how to do something. He was very direct. Like if you didn't do it, you weren't doing it right, you didn't do it enough.
Gotcha.
So then I almost quit. But I haven't quit a job yet, so I'm not gonna start now.
Right. How much would you say if this platter, we went out and had a platter like this, just with this product, what would you say that would go for cost-wise?
One California roll is about $5.75.
And you made, I don't know, I lost count.
8 Californias, 6 shrimp tempuras.
Oh, you don't have to do that all. Well, you can, you can do all of that if you want to. Who's trying this, while you're doing the math, who's trying this for the first time ever? What do you think? Were you a little like apprehensive, like, oh, I don't know if I want to try this, or no, you like all the ingredients?
I'm trying everything.
Who else said they were first timers? Yes, what do you think?
Behind you.
Okay, come in next. What do you think? Good, I seen you like going for a couple
It
helpings.
looks like he's the first time with the chopsticks too.
How about on the, how about some of you on the nori, that's the seaweed, right? Where you're like, oh, I don't think I want to eat it.
I like it. It's actually really good. I was surprised by how well one was covered
Eric, can you say again what you did? So you graduated from Cape Cod Tech, and then
Immediately went right to Connecticut Culinary Institute, and I was supposed to go to the one in Enfield, but there wasn't enough kids in the November class, so I went to the one in Hartford. We already had an apartment in Agawam, Beacon Hills, Agawam, so it was about an hour commute. And then so I found a place in East Windsor that did what I was good at. So I went there, and it was an Asian place, and Kian, who was the owner, was a really nice guy, had me come in. Didn't really have me doing much sushi. I did have one night where it was sushi out front all the time. But once they answered the phone calls, did fried rice, General Tso's chicken, all that good stuff.
yeah.
Wait, so are these numbers next to rice?
Yes.
It's just one plate of rice and all
With the rolls, yes. They didn't have the prices listed on the rolls.
Oh, yeah.
We have some.
Oh, no, that's fine. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Yeah.
So what would be the
Sushi regular is sushi. Usually when they say sushi regular, it means the fish with the rice on it. It's about the same amount of fish as you put the rice, and it's an assortment of the chef's choice. So the chef will choose what fish you get for that meal. You get like a piece of tuna, a piece of salmon, some yellowtail, like butterflies.
That works. There you go.
How about on the rice? Talk to us about the rice.
rice is really good.
The rice.
Yeah, the rice. How about just the rice making?
Okay. I come in, I measure my rice out, I put it in a big bowl. I'm sitting there waiting for the water to just get above the rice, and then I mix the rice up, and then it clouds up. And then
Okay, wait. On the mixing of the rice and it clouds up, how long does that take for you to do?
15 minutes.
Yeah, here anyone.
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to say it again for me. 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Just
rinsing it
stir,
clear.
rinsing, just rinsing and working through it, right?
Yes.
Okay,
But you
good.
kind of want to be gentle. The guy first taught me how to make it. He's like you're touching a beautiful lady.
Okay.
You're giving a massage.
Okay, good. So massaging the rice, then what happens?
Take the rice out, drain the rice. You grab just about the same amount of water as you have as rice, except a little bit more in each measurement. Don't know the exact, we use a big container.
Right.
It's a double and a half, so I just know the levels.
Yeah.
Then we put in the big rice cooker. We have our net in there already. That
Well,
holds the
net
rice.
is like,
It's like nylon-ish.
yeah, like cheesecloth, that fine mesh on the net, or no?
A little bit bigger than cheesecloth.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit bigger squares, but not enough to let the rice fall through.
Gotcha.
And then put the rice in, put our water in, and then we use this It's a Japanese potato starch.
Yes.
And we just add like maybe, I want to say a teaspoon of it to the thing. Mix it up a little bit so the starch gets all through it. Close up the thing, close it, put it on for 45 minutes, set my timer, go cut a quarter case of avocados, half a case of scallions. Come back, rice is done. Take the rice out. I got my big wooden bamboo bowl. Take my rice, drop it in the bamboo bowl, break it up a little bit, take what we need for house rice, and then the rice that we have in there, I take my sushi vinegar in my bowl. I use the wooden paddle to go all over the rice, spread it out evenly. So you're supposed to coat each piece evenly with the same amount of sushi vinegar. Let it sit for about 10 minutes till it kind of like gets this glossy look on top. Not like the wet look that it has when it's sushi vinegar. It's like a glossy kind of look.
Yeah.
Then you flip it, because if it's any longer than that, it kind of molds it. It holds, so it's harder to break it up. Because what you're trying to do is just make it light and fluffy without bruising. You're supposed to go real light. You don't want to damage the rice, because then when you get it, it'll be mush. Mush is not fun to run on seaweed.
No. And it's not going to work.
No.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't taste good.
Right. You have to start with. So there's a little bit of a sweetness. Anybody take like anything that's kind of sweet, or is it just me?
No, it tastes good.
No sweet? What are you tasting then if you ain't tasting sweet? I want to know. What are you tasting, Aiden?
It tastes sweet.
There's a little sweetness?
I like the shrimp, but it tastes kind of sour now.
The afterwards. Yeah. I guess it depends upon what you
That's
the rice.
What part of the process makes it sticky?
It's the rice itself has a short grain. We use a medium grain rice. Is sticky itself. When you pull it out, it's together. The sushi vinegar is to speed up the fermenting process, because that's what. When sushi was first there, they were wrapping fish with rice and nori, and then they just tossed the nori and rice out, but they got to be too costly, so they started eating both together. And the rice just, when fermented, it's sticky to the spots of the rice.
For me, it was like an ice cream cone shake or something.
Yeah, and it's best, I wouldn't get that to go. Because you want the nori to be crisp. That's what's best. Crunch.
And that was the popular.
You just killed it.
I mean, the thing.
I love negi hamachi, my favorite roll. I like that one. Usually it's Hoso maki. The old Taylor scallions. So good. Let's do a tuna tartare one. That's really good. They're wasabi mayo, and then we have like a sweet sesame sauce that we drizzle on the plate, so it kind of looks like a single exodus. And then I got my little metal cylinder, and then we put our tuna marinated with rye for you.
I know.
And then scallions, and then we get that in barbecue on top of the sauce, and then we look up our just a little bit, and we have this avocado that we diced up with a little bit of tomatoes, a little bit of olive oil, put that on top, and then on top of that, we just pull the cylinder off, a little bit of and then some mixed spring greens on top, and it's just sauce.
Is that all like the scrapings of the tuna as well?
Actually, that's kind of like tuna on its last leg.
Mars, you ate it?
Without eating it.
I'll eat it. Yeah.
Favorite vegetable or?
Yeah. Or whatever. What's your favorite?
Special dragon.
I like making the temp ice cream. Yeah, we use pound cake on the outside of our vanilla ice cream. We get Kipper's ice cream. We use pound cake on the outside. I like using the ends of it to make my own little ice cream sandwich. But for sushi, I don't really do rolls anymore. But if I were to have a roll, probably anything. I love everything. Making it's really fun.
Yeah, it looks really interesting.
I mean, I've been reading a book. It's called Sushi for the Mind of the Table. So don't want to finish it because I don't want it to end.
The struggle.
But they talk about even like the clear space on a plate. It's supposed to look like a landscape. I had one that was colored up one time. I go, "These aren't fucking."
Question here, yes.
What's the worst sushi?
I thought was it's not really.
I mean, the one on sushi, like that you made and then you didn't like it.
Rolls. We have this stuff called Mizukasu. It kind of looks like snot. I don't like the look of that. The taste is good, but it's just getting past that texture factor.
Some of you have to get to what?
Lunch.
Class. Some of you that go to lunch now, you can hang here for a little while and you can go to second lunch, the ones that are in shop. It's up to you to decide. Chef Rock, what do you think? Everybody go to lunch? Wrap it up? What do you want to do? Eric, what do you want to do? You have to get out of here?
If you guys want to stick around, if you have more questions, if you want to eat more sushi, otherwise if you guys want to go to lunch, that's totally fine.
Okay.
Have you seen the Euro Dreams of Sushi, the movie?
Yeah,
It was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy about this. This son's been doing it